in our brains. So I'm going to just really briefly kind of put us back into that mode from yesterday. All right, so here we go. Adaptations in the wide world of frogs. Let's see, it's gonna move, it always does. I don't know why it does that, it drives me crazy. All right, today, look, lots of things. So we're gonna get right to it. First one, I can write an introduction paragraph for my informational essay that describes my freaky frog, its habitat, its predators, and its prey. Now, we don't want to just list facts. We want to make it sound interesting, right? Because the whole idea of an introductory paragraph is to hook the reader and make them want to read the rest of the essay. So yesterday, you thought about what you would do, what you think that your reader will need to know about your frog to clean up any misconceptions about what the water holding frog, is it really just holding some water, right? It has another system for that. Your Amazon horn frog isn't really, it's not that Amazon website you order things from. It's not playing a horn like music, right? You don't have to use those exact ones. We're just give those the ideas that we came up with yesterday. And the glass frogs really aren't made of glass. We're hooking the reader. Poison dart frogs don't really blow poison darts, right? That's their name. So we have that idea. In our prompt that we have in our book, I'm not going to have you worry about opening your workbook to it. But I want you really quickly to look at, it says, in your piece, all eyeballs need to be over here. Introduce the topic by describing what your frog looks like, its habitat, its predators, and its prey. That's not really the focus of your essay, is it? And the focus of your essay is what makes your frog unique and helps it survive. So, do you want to, in your paragraph, to talk all about those adaptations that you're going to talk about later? No, because those are other paragraphs, aren't they? So when you say what your frog looks like, you don't want to describe all of those cool things that are adaptations. You just want to give a basic description. So let's go back to Mrs. Harrison's example, okay? So in her paragraph, it says, the poison dart frog doesn't actually fire poisonous darts. So there's my interesting sentence that sort of clues people in that, nope, that's not what we're talking about here. Then I have an explanation sentence that actually explains that. Native people use the frog to make poisonous blowpipe darts. That's how it's got its name. So there's my hook. I'm grabbing my reader and making them interested. Now I have to tell them a little bit about poison dart frogs. Do I want to tell them all about how they're poisonous? No, because that's my adaptation. So, but I do want to get their idea. I want them to have a picture, a little bit of information about that frog in their brains. So I say poison dart frogs are quite small. So that gives them, remember, everybody has an idea what a frog looks like in their head. They're not all the same size, are they? But if you just think about it, you think, I don't know about, I can hold one in my hand usually, but Amazon horn frog, it's huge, right? And my little poison dart frogs are small. Our little glass frogs are tiny, very tiny. All right. Some can be as small as 1 inch long. So why would I put that sentence? I said that they're small. But is Elena's size small as the same as maybe Henrik's size small? No. So, but if I give a measurement, that might, so if I give a little bit more information, that helps them with their brain. Now I'm going to say, what's their habitat? Where do they live? Not all frogs live in the same place, do they? So I want to give my reader a little bit of information there. They live in Central and South America in tropical forests. They eat ants and mites. So again, I'm not giving them all of the information that I'm going to tell them later. I'm just giving them just enough information to get settled before we get into the really adaptation part. All right. Then you see the poison dart frogs have special physical and behavioral adaptations that help them to survive. What's that part again? It's the focus statement. Very good. And it has those words in it, behavioral and physical. Uh-oh, where did my, I ate part of my, oh, here it is. Just fell off my desk. All right. Physical, we're going to talk about when we go on to our proof paragraphs, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the difference is between behavioral and physical. But remember, that's the point of our essay, is to tell how what makes our frog different from other frogs, what makes it unique. So you don't want to give too much about this yet until we get to the next paragraph. All right. Now, yesterday we did a little bit of note taking, didn't we? We did a little bit of planning. Everybody open up their book to page 121 in their workbook. This is what we did yesterday. Did you flip right to it? All right. Page 121. Awesome. All right. So you already wrote some things inside there. Is that going to be useful for you need to have that open because that's where you're going to get some of your information for your paragraph. All right. Now, Mrs. Harrison has given us, I don't want you to do it yet, but I'm going to let you do it on your computers in a minute. Mrs. Harrison had you make a copy of this particular, what we call graphic organizer to help you know where to put your information. Because what Mrs. Aubin and I noticed when we took the test last week, when you guys wrote your paragraph, is sometimes people weren't sure what order things needed to go in. And they weren't sure, does it go up here? Does it go down here? Where exactly do I need all my information? So Mrs. Harrison made this. So all you have to do is, if you follow what's on the left side, in the red and the green and the yellow, and you type those items into this other empty section, you should be fine, right? You should be on track. So here we have, you're going to have your name here eventually in a minute. You can add that in there. And I'll show you how to find that in your Google, because now that you made a copy of it, you have your very own copy that you're going to go to every time you need to work on this. All right. So Mrs. Harrison, it says introduction paragraph. What is my frog's name? Now, you're not listing things, right? You're not answering questions. These are the ideas that are helping you write this paragraph. All right. So Mrs. Harrison's was poison dart frogs. It starts out with that sentence, right? That what does the reader need to know? How you're going to hook them into your essay. So Mrs. Harrison would click inside here and I would start writing poison dart frogs don't actually blow poison darts. Oh, I cannot spell either, can I? Woohoo! All right. Okay, first sentence, right? Then I'm going to have a sentence that explains, well, why are they called poison dart frogs? So did I have to say poison dart frogs? The name of my frog is poison dart frogs. Did I have to write that in there? No, because I used it in my first sentence. So my reader knows exactly what to do, what this is about, right? Then I'm going to continue on and explain that poison dart frog part. Then I'm going to tell what size it is, where its habitat is, what it eats, what its predator is. Now, some of you are happy to always remind me, well, that Amazon horned frog doesn't have a predator. Well, how can you say that in a sentence? You're not going to just type, the Amazon horned frog has no predators. Is that going to hook your reader? Is that going to keep everybody paying attention? No. You could say, what is give that fact, but put it in a way that somebody's going to really be interested in it. What do you think, Ms. Marin?
I think I would put it in. The Amazon horned frog is so big and so scary that it doesn't have any predators.
Oh, so Marin came up with a sentence. Are you ready, folks at home? Here, I'm going to repeat it again. The poison dart, I'm in my poison dart frog mode, sorry. The Amazon horned frog is so big and scary, it doesn't have any predators. So she got in the predator part, but she also said about the size and how a little bit how it looks. Did she describe too much about how it looks? No. Did she start describing the horns? No. But she gave just enough information so that now does the reader have a little bit of idea about that frog? Yes. What do you think?
I think if I was the Amazon horn frog, I would say the Amazon horn frog is big and it eats so many things. It gets so big that there are no predators.
Okay, so Lila was giving another sentence that was very similar to that, adding in that it's so big and it has the ability to eat so many things itself that becomes big, that it has no known predators. That's how she put it. Okay, now think about my glass frog friends. Think about how you're going to add that, what you're going to start with. Okay, how are you going to relate? What are you going to tell? Now, glass frog people, you're probably going to want to start telling about how they have see-through skin. But is that something you should really dive into? No, because that's your what? Adaptation that you're going to talk about later. Can you tell them how they blend in? Yeah, you could say they're green and they blend in well with the leaves, right? So you don't have to tell all the information. All right, and then here's your focus statement. Mrs. Harrison has made this as easy as possible. On the top of page 121, you wrote your focus statement already, right? So all you have to do now is what? Type it in the spot. All right. So I would type in, I click on that where that line is. Now, Mrs. Harrison put a blank there because to tell you that something goes there. You're not actually going to want to, you'll see what happens when I type. It actually no longer has the line there. So I'm going to highlight it and then put in poison dart frogs. Do you see how I got rid of the line now? Because I highlighted it and then I just typed. Poison dart frogs have special physical behavioral adaptations that, now what do those dotted lines mean? You have to type in what you wanted to finish that sentence with, right? To make it your own. So again, I'm just going to highlight it and then I'm going to go ahead and type in whatever I want to type in at the end of that sentence. All right, does that make sense? All right, so we're going to get today, for right now, I'm going to actually stop us and move on so you don't have all of the rest of class just to do the introduction. We're going to talk about the next section and take some notes about the next section after you've had a little bit of time to work. All right, so what I would like you to do is go ahead and everybody go ahead and take out, my friends that are obviously home, you're already on your computer, but my friends here, go ahead and open up that computer. And my friends at home, I'm going to help you find your document. So you're going to open a new tab. My friends here, you're going to want to have a brand new tab. You're going to go to your waffle. When you go to your waffle, you're going to go to your docs. Docs is that blue spot there. You can also go to your drive. It'll show up there as well. Okay, can you have Miss Aubin help you out with that? If you open that up, then it's going to appear. So I've already done something, but yesterday I have copy of Painted Frog Essay. Yours is probably going to say copy of Painted Frog Essay. When you click on it, it opens your very own. I don't know if that charger is going to work or not, but hopefully it will. But all right. You're just going to type what's it right now. Don't worry about that because you're going to change that later when you actually put it in a different document. Just type into the box. Okay. Just type into the box. My friends at home, did you find it? Ben, did you find it? Ben Bowers, did you find it? In your
I typed already.
Okay, so you found it in your documents and you clicked on it? Yeah, okay, good. Miss Astria, did you find yours? Excellent. Haley, did you find yours? Yep, okay, good. Excellent. Miss Isabella, did you find yours? Okay. Logan, did you find yours? Logan Peters. Good morning. You haven't found yours yet? Okay. All right. Did you look in your drive? In your documents? It should be say copy of. Mr. Leo, did you find yours? Excellent. Good job, Mr. Jensen. I can't see you, so I don't know if you found it or not. All right. Give me can I just have a thumbs up? If everybody's got their page that they need? All right. But Miss Abby, I gave you the other computer. Yes, I said grab the other computer.
I looked right when you said that, and then it's not.
Oh, then grab them. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I didn't. You made it sound like you didn't. I'm sorry, Miss Abby. Yes, definitely take that out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do I let borrow it last? So Lennox, you had mine yesterday, right?
I have yours right now.
Oh, you have it. That's where it is. Got it. All right, everybody's staying on. Everybody's typing. Logan, did you find it? Logan, no? Do you want me to show you? Did you make a copy yesterday, Logan, when I made a copy? Okay. So what you should do you want to watch my screen again? Okay, so in your waffle, if you click on your waffle, click on docs, because that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in your docs.
So looks like you're gonna have to go over here.
All right. Do you see how? So I've been in it today, but it should list it in as yesterday's because you did it yesterday, and it should say copy of Painted Frog essay. And when you click on it, it should open it. Do you see it, Logan? So another way you can get to it, another way to do it, my friend, is to go to your waffle and say, if you look here, if you say drive, Logan, are you watching? If I click on drive, another way to get to it is if you click on recent, see it's over here on the left. And then it should show you under recent. You should be able to most likely see a picture of it, or it'll be toward the top from yesterday. And it should be, it's a document, so it's blue. It's not the yellow or the green, or it should be blue. So Logan, we can make another copy of it if you'd like. You found it? Oh, good. Yes, you should. Yeah, you should be typing that first sentence. Yeah, they're typing. I love how Lyric is using her page 121. I am very confused about who doesn't have this. You don't have your page 121 out. That's where all your notes are. Page 121 is where all your ideas were written down yesterday. So that should help you. Yep, you're writing that introductory sentence, and then you're writing that information right from here. These are the things you're going to include, right? Here's my list. What is my frog called? Now, but you're not going to just boringly say that. Where does it live? What is its habitat? What does it look like? But not everything, just a basic idea. What are its predators? What is its prey? Mine, I don't talk about predators. You don't have to do all of those questions. Just give them some ideas.
So what you talking about
You should just give it a click in. Okay, and type. Well, you're going to take, remember that first sentence. Guys, first sentence. starting to wonder about your frog. Remember yesterday we brainstormed. What do they need to know? My guys are not blowing darts, are they? No, what is it about your frog that's going to hook the reader? What do they want? What do they need to know before you get started on this? So what are you going to say to hook the reader? Amazon horn frogs aren't? Delivers, yeah, there you go. Get that first sentence is something interesting. Then dive into those other questions.
Get out your keywords and I'll put spelling in there for you if it's not in there.
And you can use your text. Remember, you've got your sources, right? You've got your extra source and your frog book to help you. That's okay. All right, so you're just going to have to type it without that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it automatically happens, honey. Yep. Well, actually, not necessarily. All right.
So, I just want to see that. Type in your name, it shows up what.
You did make a copy there. Let's go to classwork. But you want it, but you just make it, yes, you're going to put it here because we shouldn't have any of this stuff in it. Hi.
So I don't really know exactly where in the world my
Well, then you can use a dictionary or your sources. What are you trying to? So type in how you think and then use your spell check and see if it'll help you. Don't worry guys, don't worry too much about this. I mean, obviously if it's a really important word, we're happy to help you spell it. But remember, that's a part of writing that we're going to work on later when we're revising and editing. All right, so don't totally freak out about that yet. Okay?
Does it matter how many sentences you have in the first paragraph?
Moran just asked a very good question. She said, does it matter how many sentences we have in the first paragraph? Well, you need your sentence to hook everybody. That might be 2 sentences if you have to explain something, right? If you have to explain something, that might be 2 sentences. Then it says where it lives, what it looks like, what it eats. That sounds like about how many?
5 or 6.
That sounds like about 5 or 6 maybe. And then you're going to also do the green section. You're writing your focus statement as well, because that's part of our introductory paragraph.
2 things. Before you freak out, really fast. And then you gotta find when to start writing.
Okay, that's the end of yours. Then the period there, capital. Hey guys, can I read you an example of a great start? You want to hear? Finn has a great start to his paragraph. You ready? Amazon horn frog. The Amazon horn frog is not a delivery man. It is a frog that lives in the Amazon basin in Central and South America. Is that a good start? Hooks the reader, and he also told where it lives. And he also told it what its name is, didn't he? All in 2 sentences.
So like the question you asked was like, where does it live? And I don't really know what the Amazon horn frog habitat.
It lives in the Amazon. You know, it lives in South America. In the Amazon forest. That's fine. On the forest. Where in the forest does it live? Forest floor. Okay, so we're gonna, because we need to make a copy, sweetie. Make a copy. Okay. this is yours now, not mine. So when you type in it, it's gonna be all your stuff. There you go. Yep. Yeah. That's why those questions are there, right? And it's, oh, I'm on the wrong page now. I've got them all up here too. Guys, the questions you're going to answer, or the questions that you should answer in this paragraph are up here, and where you wrote them on page 121 is in that red box.
I don't know how I should write where it lives, Costa Rica, and Central South America. I don't know how to word that.
Well, you don't have to write all of that. You can say it lives in the rainforest of Central and South America. But you don't have to put all of it. You're just using your numbers. Red and green. When you're gonna stop when you finish the red section and the green section. Red is well, the green sentence is actually the last sentence in your red paragraph, but I put them separate. We'll eventually put them together. The red is your group of sentences. Yep. Amazon horn frog. What do you think the reader should know about Amazon horn frog? What do you think I'm wondering? Is this the same one? Wonderful. Right. But what am I curious Amazon horn frog? What do you think I'm thinking? Guys, I'm gonna spell actually for you guys. Just this. That's it. Remember the thing, black frog isn't actually black. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You guys didn't spell it right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're not having a conversation. You're just. You have all this in there, right? Right, but horn. What do you think of when you say horn? Okay. Well, does it have yeah, but does it, when you think of a horn, do you think of a cow? Or do you think of like a rhinoceros? Right. So what can we say? The Amazon horn frog. There you go. There's your first sentence. Good job, Lucas. Hey, Lucas had a great idea. His first sentence is the Amazon horn frog isn't actually, or isn't like a rhinoceros. So no idea about a horn, right? That's a good idea. There you go. Oh, what are we wondering about a water holding frog? You hold a pitcher of water? No. Drinking out of a water bottle? No. All right, what are you going to write? Keep going now. No, you just need to answer, make sure you have sentences that answer all those questions in an interesting way.
Yeah, I have one question. This is what's confusing me. So, like, before when we were doing this, he said this side was one frog.
That was way, but that was a long time ago.
I know, but then as soon as our class, he said his teacher decided to be wonderful frog.
So you're just what you're doing, Max. Don't worry about it. All right, I had another great question. My friends at home, you might want to hear this answer. So I had a question. Do you have to fill out the entire red section? No, I just gave you a nice space to type in. Doesn't mean you have to fill all of it. Just you need to cover all of those questions that are on the screen, right? And you may not actually cover all of the questions on the screen. Mrs. Harrison didn't say anything about her predator. So if you have a nice paragraph and you leave one of those items out, is that okay? Yes, it's just to give the reader an idea about your frog. You don't have to, it's not, you're not answering questions. The Amazon horn frog is the name of my frog. It lives in blank. It looks like blank. Its predators are blank. Its prey is blank. Is anybody gonna want to read the rest of my essay after that? No, that was boring. See how you can add it and make it interesting hook so that they want to read more.
Compound sentence.
Compound sentences are awesome. Yes.
Look if there's something we missed.
Yes. So I have some great questions. Okay, I'll help you out. Just give me 1 second, my friend at home. 2 questions were asked. Can we use compound sentences? Of course. That's what we're learning about. Compound, those more complex sentences. Second question was, now I forgot it. Can we use our sources if we don't have everything written down we want on our plan? Of course. Definitely go back and use your information. So Ben, ask me again. Ooh, you're kind of glitching on me. Can you type it in chat for me?
What could my conclusion sentence be?
Well, we're not doing any conclusion yet. We're just doing Ben, we're just doing the red and the green section. There's no conclusion yet. Okay? We're not doing the conclusion. Right now, you're just doing the red section and the blue and the green section. Don't go down to yellow or blue because we haven't started those yet. Right? Just red and green. Okay? Don't do the conclusion yet. Oh my goodness, here's another good example.
If you sit down and raise your hand, I'll come to you.
Here's another good example. What? Okay, except for needs of the water holding frog isn't actually a water bottle, but it holds water and lives in the dry desert of Australia. Then you need to end that sentence there. Then he goes on to describe it and tell a little bit more about its life as a frog. Just a little bit though, not a lot. All right. Who's talking to me here? I'm trying to hear. I'm
on that.
They're all done? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Haley, can you wait? And I'm going to give about 5, I might just give a couple more minutes and then we're going to go on to the next paragraph. So hang in there, okay? Hang in there. Guys, so Mrs. Evans coming around and I can come around too.
I just want to see, it has no predators.
So it has no predators, period. Lucky, exclamation mark. Okay, 2 sentences there.
Do your best.
Perfect. All right, so don't forget to do the green sentence. Is the green sentence already written for you?
Yeah.
It's already on the top of page 121. You should have written it already. We all wrote our focus statement already at the top. So all you have to do is make sure it matches in the green spot. All right, you already wrote. My friends at home, remember that focus statement is at the top of page 121 already, right? You wrote it on the top of page 121. So all you have to do is type it inside the green section. And if any of the words, if you need to change have to has, or you can make that sentence your own. I just gave you a sentence stem. Ben, did you get the green section finished? Did you write your green sentence? Okay, you did all.
The red and green. Yeah.
Okay, so you did the red and the green, Ben? Okay, don't do the yellow and blue yet. Yellow and blue is not ready, is not finished. We're not ready for those yet.
Can we delete this line? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed
We're done.
Okay, you're gonna hold on because in about just a couple of minutes, we're gonna go on to the next part of our notes and start our next paragraph. So just hold that thought, my friend. Just gonna letting a couple other people catch up. So you know what you could do? You could start looking at this part of page 121 and start filling in some of those. Okay, Charlie, share with me. Yes.
stores water in its skin.
Very good. Now don't tell much more than that though, right? Because then later on you have.
Mrs. Harrison,
Yes.
I'm done with the red one and green one.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. That's awesome. Just hold on because we're gonna start. You can start filling out if you want this page right here. This on page 121 right here. Okay, can you give me? If I know a lot of you are not finished, that's fine. Give me 5. So I'm looking at the clock. I'd really like to start the next section soon, even if you're not finished with the red one. Give me fist if you don't need any more time, or up to 5, meaning I need as much time as you'll give me until you cut me off, lady. All right, keep going. But I'm gonna have to probably cut you guys off at some point, but you can go back to it. We're not getting rid of it. We're just gonna move on to the next section for those who are ready. So my friends at home, I'm gonna give 3 more minutes, and then but you could start working on page 121. If you're finished with the red and green, you could start filling out here. It's the different adaptations you want to use. And, oh, that was not good. I moved things around. You could start writing some ideas in here, and because that's what the rest of us are going to do next. Okay, why is he capitalized?
I don't know. I thought it was,
It's actually glass, period. It just blends in with the
oh yeah, guys.
green what?
I accidentally highlighted with green leaves.
Also lives in the rainforest. Okay, you have also. How can you use a linking word without using also twice? Can you think about that? Predators, it's predators. Okay, this kind of it is predators. So does it need the apostrophe? Nope, it's the it's from last week. Right where it's this week. Its predators are tiny spiders. Is tiny spiders? Are tiny spiders. And okay, and see if you can double check that sentence for me.
Is that line supposed to be under survive?
I think that's this. Your tools telling you that, not me. Let's see if it. Okay, so yeah, no, it's fine. When you copy and paste it, it won't be there anyway, probably. All right. Amazon aircraft is not a delirium. Lives in Europe. Europe? Not Europe.
What?
Amazon?
What page are the words on?
Look at your book and I'll show you.
What page are like the words on?
What words?
Like also and like for.
Oh, page 128.
Okay. I finished. I don't know.
South American capitals. Brown and does not care. You got would it rather eat would rather eat ants and other bugs? Does it want small things or want big things? A big old mouth.
You won't need to make that right now. Start
Yeah. You just start typing in it. You highlighted it, and then you type. It goes away. So I'll give you a hint. The Amazon forest floor that you're looking for is in. Actually, where's your other piece of paper? You know what I mean? The other one. Here, let me come with you. All right, I'm getting 1 more minute, and then it doesn't mean you have to be finished. All right, but I have several people who are ready to move on, and I don't want to waste their time as they are working. So, there's more to it. Hold on. You're in there. How many sentences is in the green zone? Just one. Very good. Just one sentence because it's your focus statement. Did you already write your focus statement? Yes. All you have to do is pull it off at the top of page 121 and type it in that spot. Okay, just type the best you can, and then we'll revise and edit later. All right. Hey guys, remember that the spelling is revising and editing later. So if you don't have all the words spelled correctly and you're really working on that, but all those ideas are not getting down on the page, then let it go of the spelling and just get your ideas down. Okay? Perfect. All right. Thank you. So you're ready to go on to the next thing. All right. We're gonna get going on the next one. Thank you so much, Miss Marin. All right. I need everybody to go ahead and finish that word that they're typing, and then I need them to stop. All right. So type that, finish typing there, because I see Lucas is in the middle of a word and I don't want to bother. I want him to finish it. Okay, so finish that word, and then I need you to put it to the side for a minute. All right. I know some of you aren't finished. Don't be stressed. I'm going to give you some more time here in a minute. Okay, I need everybody should still have page 121. All right, out, because that's what we're doing on next. All right, so real quick, the learning target that we started out with was that you were going to have an introductory paragraph. So thumbs up if you feel like you had a paragraph that said a little bit about your freaky frog, its habitat, its predators, and maybe its prey. So some of us thumb side, perhaps if you're not finished with it. All right. Otherwise, if you're finished with it, your thumb is up. All right. So now the next paragraph. We're getting ready for the next paragraph. Miss Haley, I need your listening to me, right? All right. So let's look at the next paragraph a little closer. The yellow part is where we're going next. I need everybody's hands off their computers on their heads if you have to. I know it's tempting to try to get your ideas down, but I had so many of you who are finished that we need to, and my friends at home need to, we'll use our time wisely. So we're going to move on to the next one, but you can go back and finish. All right, let's look at the yellow section. This is Mrs. Harrison's. All right. There are a couple of physical adaptations that keep the poison dart frog safe. Our whole idea is about adaptations. What makes your frog unique? I see some hands on computers. Thank you. The first paragraph is all yellow, right? It is yellow. It is about physical adaptations. What are physical adaptations? What are they? What, Mr. Noah?
That they have to do.
No, they're not doing them. Physical adaptations aren't doing, Abby? They're ways that their body is, right? Their body parts that make them different a little bit and that help them survive. So we're going to focus right now, Miss Elena, hands off. We're going to focus just for a little bit about just the physical ones, okay? So you already wrote down some of these ideas on page 71. So go back to page 71 for a minute. And I know I'm making you move away from page 121, but go ahead and open your book, your workbook to page 71 for me, because you already wrote down some ideas about some possible things that your frog has as adaptations. All right. So I want you thinking about this part is page 121 is where we're going to write some notes in a minute. And it's just to get some ideas down. So when I look at my page 71, I see that I wrote down they have toxic skin. Is that a physical adaptation? Yes, because it's their body. Can they change that? No. Physical adaptations are not something they can change. It's their body. So I'm going to write toxic skin. Now, that's their unique thing. Do all frogs have poison skin, have toxic skin? No, most of them don't, right? So that's a special thing. Unique. Unique. We only want to write down things that are unique, okay? Only things that are unique, because if we just write down they have, they have 2 eyes. Well, is that unique? No, all frogs probably should have 2 eyes, right? So, but they have toxic skin. Now, how does that help them survive, though? That's what goes in here. What does their toxic skin do for them? Well, it helps them from keeping them away from predators, doesn't it? Predators might die if they eat them. Is that a pretty good way to survive? Well, if the predator does eat you, guess what? You're gonna die too, but the predator is also gonna die. So is the predator gonna want to eat you? No. So it doesn't want. Oh, you guys can't see the. Sorry, my friends here reminded me. You guys can't see what I'm writing on the page. That's not very helpful, is it? Apparently, I'm just teaching my Mrs. Harrison. Okay, why is it not opening up? It's slow. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's still thinking. There it is. All right. So toxic skin. Predators might die, so they don't. So it doesn't want to eat it, right? It has. And how does it get the toxic skin? Is it born with the toxic skin? No. How does it get it, Robert?
It eats bugs, ants and mice, and toxic stuff.
Yeah, and then what happens? The more of the mites it eats, what happens to it?
The more toxic it is.
Ah, so it eats mites, and the more it eats, the more toxic. All right. Now, that's one possible thing that is a physical adaptation. Now, what is the other obvious adaptation that a poison dart frog has? What? Well, that's the toxic skin. Something else about it that makes it unique compared to other ones. Stands out with what, Elena? It's bright colors. Exactly. Bright colors. My bright colors. And then what colors do they come in sometimes? Oh, Ellie? Yellow, because we know about that one guy from my research, that Philippi terribilis. And we know that the strawberry dart frog is red. Does it come in other colors? Do we know that it comes in other colors? Yes, but they are bright colors, right? They are warning colors, right? Somebody says, like, I remember we were talking about it, kind of is like having a caution tape, right? Saying, don't eat me, I am not good news, right? So really bright. All right, can that poison dart frog change his color? What? No. Can is he in charge of what color he is? No. Is he just born that way? Yes. So physical adaptations are things you can't change. How they look, how they have, what body parts they have. It's not behavior. We're going to wait and leave behavior down here. Now, do some of you have more than one thing about your about that's physical? Yes. Some of you wrote lots of them on page 71 that were physical. I just want you to pick a couple for your sentences today, okay? Just a couple of them. So let's go back to Mrs. Harrison's paragraph. Let's listen to it. Ready? There are a couple. How many is a couple? Couple means means two, right? So if I wrote three, I'd have to write few. There are a few of physical adaptations that keep the poison dart frog safe. So at the minimum, how many is Mrs. Harrison going to ask you for? At least two. Could you have more? Yes, but you need at least two. How many did Mrs. Harrison fill out on page 121? Two. So you need at least two. First, it has toxic skin. Now, is my reader going to know what toxic means? Not necessarily. Should I tell them what it means? Yes. This means its skin is poisonous. If you're a glass frog person and you say their skin is transparent, what if your reader doesn't know what transparent is? You might need to explain it. The poison on its skin can paralyze or kill predators that touch it. The poisonous chemicals come from the food it eats, such as ants and mites, which contain toxins. Is that just what Robert told me? Yes, in a clear way that I wrote my own sentence. I'm not copying it directly from the book, right? Another physical feature is the poison dart frog is their brightly colored skin. Different kinds of poison dart frogs are different colors. What happens if I don't give them all the information and just say if I just say they're red and yellow? What is the reader going to think? They're all yellow and red. So think about your dart frog as you're writing this paragraph and getting ready to write it. Think about what's going to make you, what's going to help the reader understand, because who's the expert? You, not the reader. The reader's not the expert. All right, so then I put an example. For example, the strawberry poison dart frog is bright red. The Philobite terribilis is bright yellow. So I'm giving examples. I'm giving facts. I'm giving details. Does that sound familiar? Yes. The bright color warns other creatures that the frog is poisonous. This deters predators from eating the frog. Why is that last sentence important? Why is that last sentence super important about that it deters predators from eating it? Think about what our essay's about. What's our essay supposed to be about, Isabella? How our frogs do what? Miss Isabella. Think about our whole paragraph, our whole essay is about how frogs are going to adapt to survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be able to survive. So why is that last sentence super important for my paragraph, do you think, Isabella?
So you can
Are you helping the reader make a connection between its adaptations to why it has them, right? That it's important
Right.
because it helps them survive. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do, my friends, because again, remember that we have a checklist. The checklist says that we need to use facts, definitions, and details to explain our information. What are you going to be writing on page 121? Facts and details, right? You're going to be adding to that. So what I would like you to do right now, so we're not using our computers right now, okay? But we have page 121 out, and you are going to add how many at least ideas for physical adaptations? 2. All right, 2 ideas. When you have those 2 ideas and you have enough elaboration, I'm going to go back to my doc camera for just a minute. You have to have some good stuff here. You can't just list the things here. You got to tell why are they important. When Mrs. Oven or I see that you've got at least these boxes filled up, then you can start typing in the yellow section. So let me show you really quickly the yellow section, because some of you are going to go, but I want to just type. Got to get your notes first. But then here's our yellow section, already ready for you. Now, if you're somebody who's still working on the red section, after you get your notes, you can go back to your red section and finish it if you need to. But those of us who are ready for yellow, it said, see, it already includes that first sentence, doesn't it? It says, there are a few physical adaptations that help blank survive. What should you type in the blank? Your name of your frog, right? And then you're going to go ahead and tell us about your adaptations. So Mrs. Harrison added in about toxic skin and about bright colors, and the sentences that go with it. And if you forget what goes in the yellow, guess what? Mrs. Harrison left a clue in here, right? Sentences, oh, that I don't know where that white, that one is there. It was trying to make me number things. Write sentences that include the adaptations to your frog's body and tell why they help it survive. So, yeah, you can delete them. It doesn't matter. You're just typing in the other section, really. All right. So what I want you to do now is think about your frog. Take out any of your information. Look at page 71 and see what you already took notes on page 71, and then add them in on page 121. All right. Then if Mrs. Aubin and I see that you're done with the first two sections, you got about 5 minutes. Could you get at least your plans done? Yes. All right. Any questions about what I'm asking you to do? Miss Marin.
I don't have a question, but instead of doing a whole other sentence, because you don't know if the reader knows what toxic means, you could have 6 knives, and it has like a little.
And it gives you a little definition that you can, yep. So you could use your resources, right? Or the dictionary too. You could say, according to the dictionary, toxic means, yeah, use all of your sources, use all of your ideas. All right, so you're working on page 121, Miss Bird. Miss Bird, we're not working on our computers. We're working on page 121, writing down our notes. All right, computer, hands are off computers. We're working on notes on page 121. All right, my friends at home, are we okay with our directions? Leo, you're good? Okay. Gavin, you're good? Okay. Working on directions. Miss Elzabella, thumbs up. Good job. Miss Haley, you good? All right. Astria, question?
Can we do 3?
Yes, you can do 3. So then you would change. So you're going to make sure that instead of few, or if it says few, then you'd have 3 instead of a couple. Yeah. Yep. You can add as many as you'd like. You bet. All right. Mr. Ben, did I lose my friend Ben? Oh, I did. All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. So Gavin, are you filling in page 121? That's where you're supposed to be working on, top of page 121. Yes. All right. I'm going to go back to my, here's what you're writing there. Oh, Mr. Ben, you're writing in here. 4 boxes. Ooh, good start. All right, we're filling in these 4 boxes. Filling in these 4 boxes. These 4 boxes. Ooh, look at you. Oh, that's 71. No, you need to go. Never off the computer. You're doing page 121. Right here, you're filling in these 4 boxes. With your ideas from here. You're not quite finished with this, but that'll help you. So you're filling in the top, yep, 4 boxes. 4 boxes. 4 boxes? Yes, no. Yes. Yeah, what you need to do, so I want you to get all your ideas here, so that you might, help you add to that area, okay? Yeah, yes. Alright, so we're writing in these 4 boxes, right? Don't have to guess. 4 ideas. Okay, what is your hope? This is your water running thought. So what is this adaptation? Physical adaptation. What about its body? Okay, it can absorb water. Yes, sir. Give us about 5 minutes and then we can all right. Yep, these 4 boxes. These 4 boxes. So what do you have a water hose from? What is the adaptation? You can work on it a little bit. There's Butters. And there's Important. Hey, I'm wondering why there's a lot of talking going on. Very nice. Okay, that right. Let's put here for you. So that's why you're doing the 4 top 4 squares. Just working on those top 4 squares. We're not doing behaviors yet. Behavioral ones will come tomorrow. Page 121. Yep, just those 4. Yes, 2 physicals. If they want 3, they can, but we're gonna hold that last set of boxes for behavior.
Okay. So ambush would not be something you're doing today.
No, ambush is an activity. That's not something they can change. That's something they can change. Their bodies. Think of, it's not just their skin and their outsides, right? Sometimes some of them have some pretty amazing abilities with their body. Their body. Might be their feet. And certain frogs have some pretty amazing feet. Some of them it's their skin. Some of them has to do with those body parts, just body parts. Talk about how it's body. Yeah.
We're super white. Wait, go yeah. Okay,
Yeah. All right. You have to do page 121. Do you have the top 4 boxes full? Yep. So you're big. And how's that help? It's too big for Fred to see. Okay, and then what else does it have? Yep. All right. Oh, like you say, that's a behavior. That's not. Yeah, that's good. Yes. So I had a couple questions that you might be having in your head. So one of my friends said, is it okay that both of your physical ones have to do with blending in or hiding? That's fine. They're, as long as they're different adaptations, even though they have the same purpose, that's perfectly fine. All right? Perfectly fine. All right. Horns? Like a leaf. So what about him looks like a leaf? But what about his body? You're right. You're on the right track. Nice. But what about his body makes him look like a leaf? Besides the horns. Here, let's grab your paper and look. All right. I'm going to count us down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I want to point out, you guys were super hard workers today. Let's look. We didn't quite get it all done. Again, Mrs. Harrison being ambitious, but not quitting. Okay. Did we write our introduction? Did it describe your freaky frog, its habitat, its predators, its prey? Did it hook the reader? Hope so. Did we identify some characteristics to go along with our physical adaptations? Getting them written in our note catcher. All right, so we planned what we're gonna do for that yellow paragraph for tomorrow. So if you're not done with those parts, that's what we'll start to tomorrow. But we're hoping to dive into that yellow and then blue paragraph. They're gonna go together. All right. Make sure, please, that you have all of your materials and that you make sure that you put them neatly back into your book so that you don't lose any of those notes that are super important. This Google Doc will save all of your ideas, so you don't need to do anything with your computer other than you don't have to save your document or anything. You're good. All right, my friends. If you're a friend at home and you're still wanting to get down those 4 boxes on page 121, you can continue on with that. Otherwise, we will see you at All Block and OG at 12:45. All right, my friend.
Bye.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't put ambitious on your face.
Did you put ambitious? Wow.
I finished my yellow one.
You're